This is exciting. All right. Well, welcome everyone to the RE/MAX Business Builder Series. It's 2021. I know we were all waiting for the clock to turn and for 2020 to go away. So I'm super thrilled to be back here hosting the RE/MAX Business Builder Series. So thanks to all of you. This has been an incredibly popular series that we wanted to revisit and bring back. And we know that the spring market is really going to be heating up here much sooner than I think we anticipate. So we want to kick the new year off with a bang. So I have got some very special panelists with me today, but I just kind of want to talk through a couple of things in housekeeping before we get started. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And I always get concerned about this. So hopefully the screen doesn't go black on Facebook, but because sometimes there's issues with Zoom and screen sharing. But if it is, just hang with me for a second. So today we're going to be talking about concierge level client services, but featuring one of our very most favorite preferred partners in the RE/MAX network, and that's Updater. And you're going to get to meet that team and hear all about it. So that's what we're focusing on today, but we've got a lot of incredible topics that are coming. I will be reaching out to some of you, so get ready as you will be resident subject matter experts on some of these topics. I'm excited about February 2nd. So these first two sessions are US tools. So I apologize if you're from Canada and watching, but please don't leave. We'd love to have you on anyway. The Sphere of Influence Prospecting will feature RE/MAX first, which a lot of you have taken advantage of. It's an incredible app and tool, and I can't wait to talk about it. February 16th, we will have our Ontario Atlantic audience joining us. We are going to feature a session with iSpy 360, which is the virtual tour provider that we have brought on here at RE/MAX INTEGRA. Then March 2nd, I think we're going to probably have the best attended session ever. I'm going to have someone from RE/MAX LLC Marketing and a representative from Google on with us for SEO and Google for real estate. So you cannot miss that session. And look at all these other amazing topics. So I want to officially welcome you. My name is Michelle Hoyt. I am Manager of Education and Development for RE/MAX INTEGRA. We are the largest independent region of RE/MAX. And I know some of you are joining us from the company-owned regions. We love having you. We've adopted you. You're part of our family. We're all together. So thanks for joining us, everyone. But by the way, if you registered on Zoom for these sessions, you are signed up for all, and we will always be streaming these live on the RE/MAX INTEGRA Facebook page. So I want to talk really quickly and really talk about what this all leads up to and when it comes to concierge level client services. So when I looked up, I just kind of Googled what are concierge level client services, and I saw a lot of running themes and some common terms in just about every article that I found. So one of the things that you think about the experiences you've had, no matter where you've gone, whether it's shopping, whether it's on vacation, anytime you were ever really surprised and anytime you ever were really pleased with something that really stood out, not only did you have a good experience, but you probably talked about it over and over for years to come. The other thing one thing that hotels have really mastered is the ability to anticipate, to know what is it that people are going to be asking for, what do they need, what do we have on hand. You know, you walk up to the front desk and they right away have this whole list of places you can order food to deliver to your room. They also have all the vacation and touring and everything around there. So hotels have really mastered that. So one of the things that also, this falls right into surprise and delight is, what are you doing for your clients that really blows them away? What really is in a good way, it's shocking. They're really surprised. They become your megaphone for sending you referrals and talking about how awesome you are. Of course, with anything concierge level, it's going to be remembered for years to come. This is another term that I saw when I kind of looked up this whole definition, if you would, of concierge level. And this is really true. So think about that. When you engage with your clients, or when you have been having these experiences in other industries, consuming other goods and services, if you have really felt vested in the process, if it's really affected you in some way, then that means that company or that service has done their job and then some. We hear this term quite a bit. And that's what we're going to talk about today, on how you can provide that white glove service to your clients using the benefits in Updater. So this one I really, really liked. So I saw this in a couple of different articles that I read, but think about that. what does a random act of kindness mean? To each and every one of you, it's different. To each and every one of us, it's different on what we consider an act of kindness. This could be as simple as just writing out a handwritten card to someone for their birthday instead of just posting on Facebook, hey, happy birthday. These could be all just little things like that. And then bringing it all home at the very bottom, the concierge level services are not always something you can touch or are tangible. You now need to take those concierge level services from offline to online, and that's where Updater comes in. So I am super thrilled to have our guests today with us, and I'm going to have them introduce themselves. So based upon my screen here, we're going to start with Nicole. So Nicole actually comes to us from our largest brokerage in INTEGRA, and she is actually a resident expert and has hands on the product, and she's going to talk about her experience with Updater throughout this webinar. Nicole, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Nicole. Like Michelle said, I'm the marketing and technology specialist with Remax Results. We have about 1,200 agents throughout the state of Minnesota and Western Wisconsin. And I personally have been working with Updater for about 6 years, I think, Ashley. 6 years we've had you guys. And it's been a really great tool. It's something that I promote for our agents to use. It's really, the way I like to say it is to set it and forget it, because you get the benefits of it without having to do hands-on daily work. And then I've also had the benefit of using this tool as a consumer. So when I bought my house 5 years ago, it helped me walk through the process of everything I needed to do when moving. So
Awesome. I love that. Thank you so much, Nicole, for being here. We're going to go over to Tammy next. Please introduce yourself and tell us about your background and how long you've been with Updater.
Yeah, for sure. I am Tammy Parkin. I'm a client success manager here at Updater. I actually have not been around at Updater very long. I'm relatively new, but I have been involved in the real estate industry for about 16 years. So I actually have a license to sell real estate myself here in Ohio, which is where I am. So I've sold property, managed property. I'm also licensed to practice law. So I've practiced real estate law. So even though I haven't been around at Updater very long, I think I'm pretty familiar with the industry, and I can really understand why it's so important for you all to provide such a great experience to your clients.
Thank you so much. Ashley.
Awesome. Thank you guys for having us. I've been at Updater in the client service department for about 3 years now, and leading now our brokerage, mortgage, and title team. So managing partnerships with amazing brokerages like INTEGRA, ensuring that not only at the corporate level that there's a good relationship there and you have a great experience, but at the agent level, it's so important to us to extend that white glove service that you're providing to your clients. We also want to provide to the end users, your clients, but we also want to provide to you as the agent, as well as to folks like Nicole and to Michelle. We're all about white glove. We're all about making sure that we are treating each other kindly, taking care of each other. So it's so great to be part of this series. It's incredible. And so we're so excited to sort of talk about the tools that Updater can offer to your clients. How hopefully in 2021, we're hoping for a better year. And we hope that we can be a useful tool to you all to take a little load off of you, all of the tasks that you're completing for all of the transactions you're working on. And we can be a really helpful resource to all of you in the new year.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm sure you will be. I have to say, my personal experience with Updater, I remember it was about 5 or 6 years ago. I was at Inman out in San Francisco, and there was the vendor row, and I started talking to someone from Updater, and I was blown away because I've probably moved, I can't even tell you, I lost count, 15 times in my adult life. And I could have really used this platform because I can't wait for you to share with everyone. But just so everyone understands, this is a Remax Integra preferred partnership. It is included, it is free. So we are just super thrilled to showcase this to all of you. So what I want to start off with from all three of your perspectives, everyone's wondering what's Updater. In case they haven't read their emails, we send so many emails. From each of your perspectives, what is the elevator pitch on what Updater is? So we're going to start with you on this one, Tammy.
That is great, because we actually have a video to share with you all that kind of encompasses what Updater is and what our elevator pitch is. So give me just one sec to get my screen shared here.
Okay.
Okie doke. So everyone can see my screen?
Yes, and you can go
All
full
right.
screen if you need to.
Yeah, okay.
Moving is hard. It's stressful, it's expensive, and it's just complicated.
I think back to the last time I moved and everything I had to take care of. I had to pack, find a mover, set up my Wi-Fi, hook up my utilities.
Forward my mail.
Buy a new couch, find a new gym.
There's just so much to do, and you need to take care of it all within a matter of weeks.
That's why we built Updater. We break the move into bite-sized tasks and integrate with thousands of businesses so you can get it done quickly, easily, and all in one place.
We know all moves are different, so we curate everything just for you.
You'll be able to find exactly what you need, like tools to make your move easier and some really helpful advice.
On average, Updater users save over 5 hours, hundreds of dollars, and a ton of headaches.
So stop.
Stop.
Stop! Stop making it so hard on yourself. Moving doesn't have to be that difficult.
And trust Updater. It'll be the smartest move you ever make.
All right, so that is our elevator pitch. That's what Updater does, but basically Updater wants to fill a need of movers, and we want to be the tool that you just can't move without.
Love it. So Ashley, what would you say is your elevator pitch? When someone says, hey, Ashley, who do you work for?
Yeah, I always try to describe Updater as, we call ourselves a digital moving concierge tool. Kind of a mouthful when you're out at a conference trying to talk to folks, but really we try to think of ourselves, we are digital. We know, you try to provide as much in-person service as you can, and white glove personal service through direct emails or texting. But at a certain point, you need to automate in order to go ahead and scale. And so that's really what we've built, as a platform that allows you as the agent to scale your white glove business out to all of your clients at the ideal time of their move. So you think about before you move, about 30 days or so before your the estimated close date is when you start tackling those moving related tasks. And so at Updater, we've timed out our databases and our systems so that we get in touch with your client at the ideal time so that they can go ahead and start their moving related tasks. And we integrate in with your different types of transaction management softwares. You're already filling that paperwork out. You're already using that. So we just integrate directly in with those systems to create a really seamless experience so that your client can go ahead, do everything from forward their mail, find a moving company, hook up their utilities. We try to think of it all and take care of it all so that you don't have to lift a finger as their agent, but you can take credit for this great experience that you provided to your client.
That's awesome. That is concierge level client services right there. Thanks, Ashley. So Nicole, from a brokerage perspective, what has been your experience? What works best, and what are agents saying to their clients when they describe what Updater is?
Yeah, so when I recommend that people use Updater, and I get some people that have never heard of it or they didn't realize that it's just automated, it's so easy. I go, you need to go in here one time, make sure your headshot looks like you, and then you get all the credit. It's so nice because just a couple of weeks before closing, they'll start getting the information and you get the credit because it's all branded to you, that you're the one reminding them and helping connect them. So it's really making sure that you're providing a high level of service without really having to do anything from start to finish. You guys have so much other stuff that you're worrying about the little details on, that being able to provide this information, easy peasy, it's customized, it's tailored to them in their area. I see that we have people from our Austin office, we have people in Wisconsin, like it's not going to show them something that's only Minneapolis based. It's going to show them stuff that's tailored to where they're moving. And so my favorite part that I always tell people is like when you get to the very end and you get to share that you moved, there are like two little digital postcard designs that you get to choose. And my favorite is the little penguin. I don't know why it's a penguin. Like, I don't know why you guys decided that, but I love it. So I was like, look at how cute this is. They can share it on social media. And look, there's your face right there, helping promote that you helped them move. So, yeah.
Love it. Thank you. And I can tell you're excited about it. And I think you probably got everyone's attention when you said easy peasy. So the agents love that. That's like music to their ears. Awesome. All right. So let's talk about how this works and let's see some demo of the product. And I know that I noticed there are some broker owners on here already. Hey, Dan, some of you have signed up for this already, but it's still fairly new to us. And you're going to find out today what so many different value adds that this can bring to your client services, both during the transaction, even post the transaction, but you can even talk about this in listing presentations. You're going to get all kinds of tools that you'll be very pleased with when this session is complete. So let's talk about how to get started. And it starts at the brokerage level here at RE/MAX INTEGRA with our partnership with Updater. So Tammy, Ashley, I'll leave this up to you, whichever of you wants to talk or both, to go ahead and walk us through how the brokerage signs up and the steps involved.
That sounds great. I'll go ahead and take this part, Michelle. Thank you so much. So as far as signing up at the brokerage level, what we've tried to do is create a system that we can collect opt-ins essentially, so that as you, as the broker owner, decide, is this the right tool for you? You can go ahead, sign up, let us know what TMS system you're using, your transaction management system, so that we can go ahead and start that connection to see if we can integrate with you and how we can go ahead and start doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen really quick so that you can see the opt-in form. So this may look familiar to some of you. This has been distributed, I think, a couple of times in various marketing outreaches and different pushes as we launched the Updater program with INTEGRA last year. So essentially this opt-in form is your way of reaching out to us on your time to let us know that you would either like to know more information or that you just want to go ahead and get started and get your office or your business hooked up with Updater. So what we do essentially in here is give you a quick overview of what Updater is. We give you a demo as well. We know, trainings like this are wonderful, but sometimes you just need to sit back and take a look at the information for yourself in a quiet moment. So we'll give you a refresher there. And then we just ask you a couple of basic questions about your business. And what this is going to do is allow our technical team to go ahead and get a good overview of your business so that we know what type of onboarding we need to organize for you. So you'll let us know your office name, where the area where you operate. Do you want to opt the full office into Updater? How many agents work for your office? And then this is really the most important piece. And we don't want to get too in the weeds about the technical side of things, but the automation of Updater is really our bread and butter in terms of how we can truly be useful to your business for you as the agent as well as at the brokerage level. So letting us know what transaction management system your team uses and ensuring that we create a successful connection to that will be the most important part of what we call the onboarding process. It's a really short process to get signed up with Updater. Really, this is the key part, is us connecting into your TMS system. We only pull very basic pieces of information in order to create an invitation for your client to go ahead and be invited to Updater. So that would be where they're moving to or from, their first and last name, their estimated close date, and their email address. And that allows us to create the personalized invitation, exactly what Nicole was speaking to, that will tell us exactly where they're going to and from. If we only have one of those addresses, no problem. We can still create the invite. They'll fill in the rest of the info later. And that way they'll only see moving companies available in that area. They'll only see the TV and internet companies and packages available to that new area. All of it's automated based off of that estimated close date. So it's really important for you to know that data security is important to us. It's important to you. So when you see that we're hooking up to your TMS system, it's just to create that personalized process for your client so that they're not filling in their information over and over again, which is really what happens a lot of times when folks are moving. But we're not collecting any sensitive information for them from your transaction system. Everything is very secure. So the rest of the information, again, is just let us know the time frame that you'd love to go ahead and launch Updater. We usually need a minimum of about 2 weeks for setup. Usually most folks want more time. We'll set up an agent training. We'll ensure that everyone in your office is all trained up and ready to go for the program, and then list any questions for us. This form comes directly to our client services team, including myself and Tammy and Jake, who is our integrations manager. And we will personally reach back out to you, ensure that you are set up, and get you launched in whatever time frame that you prefer. So hopefully,
Ashley?
yep.
There's already a couple of questions, so thanks everyone. So the question is, does the brokerage have to be signed up in order for the agents to participate?
Yep. So we do have independent ways for agents to go ahead and sign up yourself. There is a cost to that. Part of our agreement and the wonderful part of our partnership with INTEGRA is that at the brokerage level, you're able to offer Updater as a full program to all agents at no cost. But we do have the ability for agents to sign up independently for $149 a year. But certainly and that is a manual process, unfortunately, in that you'll create invitations on your time to send to your clients. It's still a wonderful way to use Updater and certainly an amazing option for you if you just want to sign up for yourself as an agent. We'll ensure that all of the links to be able to sign up are sent to Michelle so that you guys have them. But certainly to take advantage of the automation, we definitely recommend signing up at the broker level. That way we can hook up to the transaction management system and get that automation set up. But we definitely have ways for agents to sort of take advantage of our tools on their own.
Okay, that's good to know. And I know we have some of our friends watching from the company-owned regions. I saw my friend Connie from the Chicago area. Hi, Connie. So if you are in the company-owned regions and you're interested in Updater, they are RE/MAX LLC approved supplier. So please reach out directly to Updater. I will provide in the follow-up emails, by the way, links to this form and all the information to sign up. And just for INTEGRA, just for all of you to know, on soldsignblog.com on our region blog, there's a really nice article and resource center that our communications and marketing team has put together that gives you even more instructions on how to sign up. So thank you, Ashley. All right, so any more questions, feel free to ask away on Zoom. I'm watching the Facebook audience. So hello, I see Sharon's watching, Linda, Regina. So let us know what we can do for you. So that's how it works from the brokerage level. We have a lot more to show. So Nicole, can you share with us your experience from the brokerage level? So there might be broker owners watching going, oh, I don't know if I want to go through the process. I don't have time. Like, can you talk about the benefits and maybe the process?
Yeah, so we have SkySlope as our transaction management system, and a lot of our agents don't necessarily use it on their own, but they have the front desk do it. So what happens with that, it's nice because no matter what, that's what the data feeds from. So as long as you have your email address included for your clients, then they'll be able to get those notifications. They'll go out. So literally, they turn in their paperwork and it's taken care of. So everything will automatically happen. If we have somebody who maybe the really nice thing is if they need to go in there, like say my dad was buying me a house, like I'm going to be the one who's living in it, but my name's not on the paperwork. You can always go in and manually invite people as well, because maybe the parents aren't going to be the ones who set it up. And so they have the option to go in there manually and see it. I can also go in and I can help my agents. I can re-invite them to it. It's a really great system that's really handy in so many different ways.
Awesome. Thank you so much. There's a question that just came in from Melanie. Does this work for rural areas outside of larger metro areas such as Indianapolis? So Tammy, Ashley, Nicole, any of you are welcome to answer that question.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And Tammy, you can speak to it even in more detail, but we are across the US. We work in all metro areas. Sometimes you might see more options for moving companies or TV and internet companies in larger metro areas, which is pretty intuitive. But for smaller areas, absolutely, there might be less options depending on the certain area that folks are living in. But there's really no area of the US that we don't cover. And so it'll be a useful tool to everyone everywhere. And Tammy, feel free to fill in anything that I didn't.
Yes, and we're going to get inside the consumer portal, so you'll be able to see exactly what they see, which is amazing. Lots of great, cool stuff. All right, so let's talk about the agent sign-up process and what's involved in setting that up and their profile. So is that going to be you, Tammy, that will show that piece of it?
That is me. So let me
Okay.
go ahead and get my screen share launched here once again. Okay, so I just have to say, I really hope this works because I just had our implementation specialist send me a new agent invitation this morning so I could kind of walk you all through the process start to finish. So basically, Ashley was explaining how the brokerage is going to go through all of those steps to get your integration set up. We'll do a training, get you live. And at that point, we are going to send out agent invitations to all of the agents in the brokerage to allow you to claim your updater account. So your email is going to look just like what we're looking at here. And it's super, super simple to go ahead and set up your agent account. All you're going to do is click accept the invitation. And this is going to allow you to set up your password and get started. So once you enter your password, you are landed right here on your branding page, which allows you to set up the information that your clients are actually going to see when you invite them to join Updater themselves. So you can add your headshot. I think Nicole kind of talked earlier about how this is branded to you and you're able to take credit for everything that's going on. This is exactly where you set that branding. I'm actually going to jump into an account that I already have set up because it's a little bit easier to demonstrate. So where we just were is on this branding tab here. So this is where you're able to add your headshot. You can add links to your social media. So when somebody is actually viewing invitations from you or within their account, they can always click to link directly to your social media. The other important piece here in branding is message. So I'm going to show you in just a minute what this experience is going to look like for your clients. But when they get an invitation to claim their updater account, it's coming from you. You're providing them that service. And this gives you the ability to update that invitation with your personal message that's going to actually go out to your client. Ashley was speaking to the integration. And the great thing for you is when your brokerage integrates their transaction management system with Updater, it's autopilot for you. There's nothing that you need to do. We're going to be able to draw that information, the name, the move date, the address, email, so we can actually send the invitation to your client, and you don't need to worry about it. Those invitations are going to queue up right here for you on your dashboard. So you can see the invitations that are ready to go out, when they're going to go out, all of those things. We never want any surprises though. So even when you're on automation, we're still going to notify you when these invitations are going to go out. You'll get a notice 2 days in advance, and you can always pop in here and make modifications. You can edit that invitation. You can cancel it if you don't want it to go out for some reason. If your client says they haven't received it, you can resend. So all of that information lives right here for you on your dashboard. I think Nicole was mentioning that even outside of automation, you still have the ability to send invitations, and that happens right here in Send Invite. So if you want to send an invitation to a client outside of information that's in your transaction management system, you can pop right in here. All you need is their name and email address, either the move to or move from address. When are they moving? And you can add a personal message here, and you can shoot invitations off on your own, even outside of your automation. So this is what your experience is going to look like. There are a couple other features in here. Our resource center here, I think we're going to get to in just a bit, and I can show you all of the handy information there is for you here in the resource center. But easy peasy for you to set up your account and get in here and start working right away.
Quick question, Tammy. So if someone has a client that's relocating out of state, are they still able to do this, and will it tie them directly into the movers and the new gyms and all that in that new area that they're going to? I assume that's the purpose of putting in this address.
Yep, absolutely. So if you have both addresses, if you enter both the old address and the new address for the client, it's just going to pre-populate the information a little easier for them, but you only need one and they can add the other piece. But all of the information that populates in your client's account is customized to their move. So whatever this new address is, that's where we're drawing the movers and the utilities. So everything's customized to their experience, whether they're moving in-state or out of state. And really, even in Canada, if the client is moving into the US, as long as the address that they're moving to is a US address, we're able to customize their experience for what's local to them.
Thank you.
Did you want me to move into the mover experience, or do you want to come back to that in a bit?
Please continue.
Okay, awesome. So when the invitations go out to your mover, your client, they are going to receive an invitation as well. And their experience is going to be pretty similar to yours. So just to take a peek here, oops, goodness, sorry. Just to take a peek here, this is what the invitation kind of looks like to your client. You can see that it's appearing to come from you because you're the one that's offering this service. And it's important to notice that right here, right from the beginning, your branding is there. You're staying front and center. You're staying relevant to your client well after close while they're going through the remainder of their moving process. So this is the invitation that the client's going to get. And they're going to click get started, just like I showed you for your agent account. So they're just going to go ahead and create their account by setting their password, and that's going to land them on their dashboard. I think that I saw a question earlier about if your client does not want to be involved, can they opt out? Your client never has to claim their invitation. So an account isn't created for them automatically. They're going to get this invitation and they can choose if they want to actually create an updater account or not. If they choose not to engage, then we're not going to bother them. We're not going to continue to bombard them with information. We'll just give them a reminder, hey, do you want to claim your invite? And if they choose not to, no worries, they don't have to engage with updater.
Thanks, Tammy, for addressing that question. There's another one right after it. Do you allow lenders to use your system as well? I believe a lender I've used has sent this to my client.
Yeah, so the part of the business that Ashley and I deal with is our brokerage mortgage title portion. So we do have mortgage companies, we do have title companies that utilize Updater. And in the event that, let's say, the mortgage company has sent an invitation to your client prior to your generating an invitation, when we see two invitations generated for the same move, the client is going to receive the first one. So if they've already received an invitation from the mortgage company for this move and they've set up the account, then your invitation just wouldn't actually be processed to them. So yes, mortgage companies can utilize the product.
So that's where having communication at the very beginning when working with your preferred lenders could be crucial because like they said at the beginning, you want to get credit for it. Yes, great question, Melinda.
Really quick here on that too. Sometimes it happens that the lender may have sent an invite. The client may not have even been aware of it. They may not have claimed it. It might have ended up in their junk mail. So don't necessarily, if you run into a situation like that, feel free to either reach out to us or send a manual invite to your client, maybe using a different email address, maybe to the husband instead of the wife. There are all sorts of ways to ensure that your client gets a branded invitation for INTEGRA for your business. So like Michelle said, the communication is key, but we always have ways to ensure that an invitation can get to your client under your with your information if they aren't already taking advantage of the tool with their lender.
Thank you, Ashley. And there's a question right after that we're about to answer, but Andrew's asking for updater flyers for our agents. And where can we get them to help introduce this to clients? So I'm going to lean pretty heavily into Nicole as well when we get to that section to talk about her agents' experiences with that and how they're doing. All right, so Tammy, feel free, or Ashley, let's take a look at the resources section.
Sure. I'll hop back to the resource and then we can come back to
Unless you still need to keep working on this section, that's fine.
No, that's okay. I kind of skipped over the resource center because I thought we were going to cover it in a bit, but we can look at it right now. So I'm back to what your agent account is going to look like. And right over here in your settings menu, you have access to the resource center. So the resource center is a wealth of information for you, both to educate yourself as to how Updater works, but also to give you information to help educate your clients. So in the resource center, this is all things Updater. We have video tutorials. We have articles that can help you get yourself up to speed on how how Updater works, and this answers a lot of your questions, but we also have client-facing information. So here, how to explain Updater to your clients. We have kind of one-pagers that let you, you can actually put this in your listing package and kind of explain to your clients what Updater does, how it can be a benefit to them. We have a demonstration of what the client-facing landing page is going to look like, which is what I was just on a moment ago, and I'll get back to it. But pretty much right here is the information that you're going to be interested in to share with your clients. We even have sample language that you can include in an email to further explain Updater to your clients. So the more that you're explaining Updater and what it does at the beginning of your transaction, throughout your transaction, the more likely that your client's going to pick up that invitation, create their Updater account, and that's how, again, you stay front and center relevant, and you're providing this fabulous experience to your client. Even though you don't have to lift a finger, Updater is doing everything behind the scenes. You're getting to take credit for everything. So these are the talking points that can be useful to you to present this to your clients.
Could you please click on where it says sample language?
Yep.
And I'm definitely anxious to hear from Nicole on what the agents at Results are doing and what's working. So feel free to share.
Yeah, so we integrate with Updater. Obviously, it's our automatic. We have a lot of people who just automatically include it, and so it's not necessarily something they have to hugely preface it. They'll let them know maybe, but otherwise it's just kind of a pleasant surprise. I tell people that there tends to be a little bit of a slowdown in communication after an offer is accepted, both for sellers and buyers, because there's just not a ton to do between that acceptance, the inspection, and the appraisal, and then hopefully it's a waiting game and you're ready to close. So in that meantime, this is the great time that Updater tends to go out. The way that we encourage our agents to help promote it is they include it in our listing presentations and our buyer presentations. So it's included on both ends, because even if you're a seller, even if you're not buying again, you might need help setting up anything else. The other great thing, and I know you guys haven't necessarily gone through it, is that there are other resources throughout the selling process or throughout the Updater walkthrough, including discounts on movers, on moving boxes, on furniture, different things like that. So they're not necessarily needed, but like, who doesn't want a new couch when they buy a house? So there are a lot of really great tools that implement with it. So that's really what our agents use to help promote it, and the fact that they have it available.
Thank you. Yeah, that's the best part. I clicked on the article that said best places to find free boxes. And I was like, this is awesome, because all of us go to Home Depot and buy boxes and don't realize we can start finding free boxes everywhere. So there's some really good resources. Can't wait for you to show the consumer portal. So this is great. This is not, and that's one of the hardest parts, is just getting started, right? Tammy and Ashley and Nicole, is for the agent to start talking about it, using it. There's always hesitation. It's unfamiliar. It's uncomfortable. Yeah, that sort of thing. One of the questions I'm sure you get a lot is client privacy and information. Could you address that?
Yeah, for sure. I actually think I saw a question come through earlier, Mary, do we sell info? So when we're drawing the information from your transaction management system, really the only thing we need is name, email address, move date, and one of the addresses, either move to or move from. So that's the information that we're actually taking to generate this invitation. There is never a scenario ever that Updater sells your client's information. And even outside of that, there's never a scenario that we transfer your client's information to anyone absent their explicit request for us to do so. So for example, if your client decides that they want to schedule a mover, or they want to set up their TV internet, if they specifically engage with a feature, obviously if they're going to choose a mover, we have to pass their contact information onto that mover so that they can complete the process. But absent your client specifically asking us to transfer their information, we never transfer data or client information to anybody.
Really good question. Let's take a moment to answer a couple of more questions, if you don't mind, and then we will get into the consumer side of it. So Gary's asking, how do I get the form to give my broker? So again, there are sign-up instructions on soldsignblog.com, which is the region blog. If you just type in Updater in the search bar, there's instructions for the brokerage to get signed up. I'm also going to send some items in the follow-up email following this session. So those of you that are watching on Facebook Live, if you're not signed up for Zoom and would like the follow-up email, please contact me at mhoyt@remaxintegra.com, and we'll be happy to get that out to you. So Gary, thanks for the question. So Rob Bergeron, my counterpart on Remax Integra, is asking, hey Rob, if mover pool is in the destination, from the destination area, can we opt to provide our own mover recommendations in our area? So I take, because your system will pull movers based upon recommendations, reviews, or are those partners of yours, and can they add their own, I guess is the question that Rob's asking.
Ashley, I'm going to defer to you on this one.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. So our system is generally a mix of different partnerships and recommendations that our company has gotten over the years. Moving companies who have passed a pretty rigorous amount of qualifications to even be available on our platform. And so we consider the companies that are hosted on Updater to be partners of Updater. We take it very seriously that we're recommending them. And so in order for us to feel confident, they sort of have to pass through Update. But Updater's stance on showing different providers is giving your client a free marketplace of options. So we don't necessarily highlight only one moving company that we think would be beneficial or a TV and internet package that we think is best. We give them a full market view of what's available. They won't necessarily see every moving company available in the area because, like I said, they have to go through a qualification process with us. But as far as TV and internet packages go, they will see just about everything that is available. TV and internet packages change like crazy. I don't know if you've ever been involved in that space, but those packages are changing by the minute. So that's why we do have our white glove concierge folks on the phone that will work through with your client directly in the moment to let them know, hey, that package you saw on the screen, it's still available, or there might be something even better that just came available. So there's always the phone option that allows your client to get more of the moment updates. As far as recommendations go, number one, from a higher level, a corporate level, we would love to hear who your preferred moving companies are, or any company that Updater it would be beneficial for us to get in touch with. That is super important to us. And we definitely want you as the agent to still recommend folks that you work with to your clients. We are meant to be there as automated catch-all in order for your client to have a great moving experience, but we know you as their agent may sometimes just have a great recommendation that you still want to talk to them about. So if you think it's something that's useful at the company level for your entire company as a recommendation, we'd love to hear it. Otherwise, still pursue those personal recommendations at your level, at the agent level, directly with your client. We would love for them to ensure that, you know, they have the best experience. And if that's a moving company that you know and trust, please still recommend that to them. And we would love for them to take advantage of it through that.
Thank you for answering that. And a couple more questions and then we'll move on. If you send a manual invite, does the system still provide automation for the messages, or does the agent need to push each one?
Even with the manual invite, there is still going to be automation. So the invitation will go out. If your client does not immediately accept that invitation, then they're still going to get the same reminder emails otherwise. So they get 2 reminders spaced 24 hours apart. If they don't accept the invitation after that second reminder, then like I said before, we kind of drop off and leave them be, but the follow-ups will automatically go out even if you send the invitation manually.
Okay, thank you. Then we've got a question that was from Melanie. Thank you, Melanie, for all your questions. We've got Josh is asking, will there be directions sent out on how to access this individually versus through our brokerage? So again, this is a Remax Integra included perk. For those of you that are part of Remax Integra, we've taken care of the pricing and everything up front. So talk to your broker owner about signing up. And if that is not something they wish to do, it is not required at all. it's not mandatory, then definitely you can reach out to Updater directly. We'll make sure you have the instructions and where to reach out to for that. But just want to reiterate again, please go to your broker owner, let them know what you saw today, what you learned today, and let them know the ease of the process. Nicole has shared from the brokerage level. And by the way, they usually have anywhere from 1200 to 1400 agents. So if they can get it set up and seamless, any of you can get it set up. So it's relatively painless, but Nicole, feel free to add to that.
Yeah, so we got it set up. It does feed automatically from our transaction management system. We do have a pretty high usage. So just in general, we can't expect everybody, nor do we want everybody to do everything the exact same way. But we do have a pretty high adoption for both our agents and for consumers on this tool. I was just looking at it, and we have over 50% of consumers that are sent the invite do accept and set up an account and use this tool. So 50% is pretty high for anything, but especially for something that's consumer offered.
Thank you so much. Thanks everyone for the questions. I'm kind of scanning the chat box as well as the Q&A. Let's go ahead and move on to the consumer portal and show them all the very cool shiny objects that are inside of there that I think they'll absolutely love.
For sure. So like I was mentioning earlier, your client's experience as far as signing up for Updater is going to be pretty similar to your experience receiving your agent invitation and accepting that. So invitations go out about 35 days prior to your client's move date, because that's typically based on our research and experience when people are really getting started with these moving tasks that need to be accomplished. Once your client accepts that invitation, they're going to hit this landing page here. And the first thing worth pointing out is, like I've mentioned, you are always front and center, staying relevant to your client, being able to take credit for this entire experience and staying at the forefront of their mind. So you're going to see your brokerage logo here. And this is the branding information that you've added directly in your account that we saw when we were looking at that before. So we've set up this streamlined process that kind of puts together the most engaged with features of Updater, so your client can take advantage of just kind of going through the step-by-step. What TV internet service do I need? Can I forward my mail? So we take them through the step-by-step, but just in the interest of time, so I can kind of show you what your clients have access to. Outside of that step-by-step process, they also have a dashboard here that they can access that shows their move information. It shows them how far along they are in completing some of these tasks. So just a few things that your clients can do: forward your mail. That's an important one. This is saving them time. They don't actually have to go to the post office to do this. They're just entering their information, and we can ship that off to the post office for them to forward their mail. Update accounts is allowing your clients to update the mailing address for different subscriptions or other things that they might receive. Forward your mail is just a temporary solution. You still need to update the magazines that you receive, your high school alumni association, whomever it is that you need to update your address with. You can do that right here. We have relationships with over 15,000 businesses and entities, and you can all in one fell swoop just update all of those businesses or entities of the new address. You can get quotes for homeowners insurance. I'm sorry, this is homeowners insurance. This is Protect Your Home. So you can select maybe ADT, a home security system, if you're interested in that. You can get quotes from movers. Not only could you schedule a moving company, we also have offers to do it yourself, rent a truck, things of that nature. Set up TV and internet. We're going to provide you packages that are available, and your client can choose their package here. And then our Updater concierge team is going to actually help them schedule installation, schedule payment, things like that. Utilities, hey, what utilities are available at your address? Gas, electric, water. This is a huge time saver for you as well, because I'm sure you field a lot of questions from your clients about, hey, who are the utility providers at this particular address? You don't have to worry about that because it's all right here for them. Exclusive offers. This is, I think Nicole was referring to it earlier. Money gets spent when people are moving. So not only do we want to save your clients time, we also want to save them money as well. So we have all sorts of exclusive deals that were negotiated with these businesses by Updater. A great thing to point out here, I know the question before was, do we transfer information? And I think I already addressed that. But even here with the discounts, the great thing is your clients are able to choose which discounts they want to engage with. And this is going to give them either a coupon code or it's going to link them to this business's website. We're not signing them up for mailing lists. We're not going to bombard their email with other deals or whatnot from these providers. So we're very, very cautious about where your client's information goes. And this is just another example of that, that they get to choose what they want to engage with and what they don't. And then lastly, share your new address. This is what Nicole was referring to earlier about her cute little penguin. Here's the penguin here. So if your client wants to share that they're moving with their close friends and family members, they're able to send out a little notification here. It's an email postcard that just says, hey, I've moved. Here's my new contact information. The great thing about this is it is also branded with your information. So you're right there front and center from start to finish. And when your client sends out this notification, hey, I've moved, and it's branded with your information, that's certainly an implicit referral for you. So I know that was super, super quick. I know we have some time constraints. So you can certainly, once you get into your agent account, you can always send yourself a test invite, a mover invite, so you can actually experience what your client experiences for yourself if you'd like.
Thank you, Tammy. If you could stay there for a minute. Dan Bertelson, I'm going to allow you to talk. I might regret that later. I'm kidding. But Dan wanted to share his experience with his own brother in using this portal. So Dan, feel free to share.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, no worries. No, I just thought it was cool. So I guess, and I'm not a big Target shopper. So for all of you people out there that like live at Target, like my wife, and know this already, I guess 25% off as far as a coupon was kind of actually a big deal. I guess like 15s and 20s are very normal and regular, but 25 was a little bit further off. And my brother just moved, and he was kind of quote unquote testing this out for me and went through and used this, but like he saved several hundreds of dollars on all the new stuff for his new place, just through that coupon. And I guess it's one of those things where there's always coupons out there to be found or whatever, but that one was a little bit more than the average bear and applied a little bit more to some things that normally are excluded from your newspaper style coupons or whatever. So I just thought that was something to note. And then the other piece, looking up the utilities that you just showed about 30 seconds or 2 minutes ago, that was just so big for transaction coordinators, especially all of you that are using TCs out there. Most people have to obviously look that up for every transaction because things change and whatever, and they have a list or whatever. What a time saver for that if you're providing that as a service already. So I don't know, that was just really helpful. He was moving from Milwaukee over to Madison, so out of market to in my market. So one of those things. I don't know. It was just, he tested it all out for me. He really liked it. He's kind of a nerd, so I mean, I think he enjoyed the process through it, but there were certainly some pieces in there too that he didn't use, but I think it's valuable enough to like people to pick and choose what they want out of it. So it's cool. Like it.
Thank you so much for sharing. All right. Annie, let me see what other questions we have coming in. Let's see. Thanks everyone for your participation. We've got, do you allow lender? Okay, that's an old one, sorry. Lots of questions here. Would we as agents be able to know if a client is utilizing Updater ahead of asking them? So that is a good question. So actually this is good, Tammy and Ashley, when a client is part of Updater, so let's say that they move now and then they have an Updater account, and then let's say that, is there an expiration on how long they can use this? Is this forever? And let's say they move again in 3 years. How does all that work?
Ashley, can you speak to the details of that one? I've just showed on my screen in your client's settings menu, they do have an option to say I'm moving again and change the move information to continue to utilize their updater account for another move. But Ashley, can you speak to the timing of that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we try to protect your clients from getting too many invitations for particularly the same move or even within a certain period of time, knowing that their transaction could have fallen through or something could have happened, and we know that there are plenty of different scenarios where clients will either be moving again, it might be 2 weeks from then, or it could be 2 years from then. We protect them from getting duplicate invitations for about 2 months after their initial invitation is sent out for a move. And generally, there are extenuating circumstances where someone may genuinely be moving again within that short period of time, in which case they would be able to utilize the I'm moving again option within the account they already received. But if they're moving again, they're using you, hopefully they're using you again as their agent a few years later when they're, upgrading their home or downsizing, they can go ahead, they'll receive an invitation from you again. They'll just start a fresh account. It's not a problem. Our system will allow them to go ahead and claim their account. Essentially what will happen is they'll still get their email invite, but what will happen is they'll go ahead and be prompted and say, hey, we already recognize you as a user, you have an account, and they'll be prompted to sign in. If they don't remember their password, which like the rest of us, it's very difficult to keep your password straight. We just have a forgot password link. It'll email you, you can get right into your account, and it'll go ahead and allow you to use the account again for their move. So their account is theirs for life, which is really nice. They can pop in, like Dan was saying, for those target offers. We don't put a shelf life on those. They'll have access to utilize any of the steps in Updater for as long as they want to, essentially for forever. And hopefully they'll still be working with you as their agent. And even if they aren't, their branding, your branding will always be visible on their dashboard if they're utilizing that same account in the future, which is a great reminder of the great service that you provided them.
Thank you so much. So Rob is asking, can the invite be sent earlier than 35 days prior to closing because the market is fast moving, shorter closing dates? That's a very good question.
Yeah, absolutely. So as soon as we pull the information from your transaction management system, then the invitation is going to queue up right here on your dashboard. And you can always pop in here and choose to send it at another time if you choose. So you can send the invitation now. You don't have to wait for us to automatically send that for you.
Awesome. Thank you. Beth is asking if someone has recently moved, can you add them after closing when they're still getting things set up?
Anytime you want to add an invitation outside of what's been drawn into our system via your transaction management system, you're just going to access your account and pop right here to send invite, and you can generate your own invitation manually at any time that you choose.
Okay, great questions, everyone. Thank you so much. Nicole, any success stories or testimonials you'd love to share with everyone?
I mean, I don't have a testimonial off the top of my head except for my own that I love it. I've set up my chance, or when I'm showing people how to do it, I still log in as a consumer so I can show them exactly what their consumer would see. And every time I do it, I just create I'm moving again. So I think at this point, my account thinks I've moved like 18 times. But I haven't been smart about it and taken advantage of the 25% off Target coupon. So I don't know what's wrong with me. But yeah, it's a really great system. It's something that you can hop in at any time. As a real estate agent, it's really beneficial because you can hop in and you can see when people have claimed their accounts. So you can see if they find it useful, and maybe it's just a good way to have a reason to touch up with them. So yeah.
Michelle, I actually have a testimonial queued up here if you want me to go ahead and play this.
Speaking of testimonials, thank you. All your testimonials worth a lot, so thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. And this is actually Brenda from RE/MAX Results as well. So here we go.
RE/MAX Results is one of the largest RE/MAX franchises in the U.S. We have almost 1,200 agents, 38 offices. Last year, we were the largest RE/MAX franchise in the world based on transactions and volume. RE/MAX Results is always providing our associates with the best technology, the best marketing, the best service, training, facilities, you name it. The tools or technology that, that we believe is crucial to the success of our sales associates is the technology that's going to make the real estate transaction easier. Not long ago, I was at an event, a training event, and one of our sales associates approached me unsolicited and just started raving about how great Updater was. They love Updater, how much time it saves them, how the way it's branded to them, the way it just kind of checks off those items on their closing checklists for them. It handles all of that for them. It's automated, behind the scenes. It's integrated with our transaction management system, so there's no work on the sales executive's part other than getting set up and adding their branding. It just kind of runs automatically, and that's a huge time saver. Something that is unique about Updater, besides working with their success managers, is the fact that they proactively reach out to our sales executives for feedback, for how's it going, for how can we help you, and that's great. You don't see a lot of tech partners doing that. One of the biggest challenges that I see, and I would suggest that many brokers would say this, is getting that adoption rate for the technology and marketing tools that we provide our sales executives. And the nice thing about Updater, though, is that because of their integration with our transaction management systems, and it's automatically, the data and the emails are automatically flowing and going out, adoption rate really isn't an issue with Updater. It's very simple. It's very simple to use. So very little training. It's really just, plugging in your photo and your contact information and your branding, and boom, and you're ready to go. When onboarding new sales executives, the overwhelming response when we show them Updater is, whoa, this is really cool. I need to start using it in my recruiting practices. No, they love it. The sales executives love it.
That was fantastic. Well, thank you, Brenda, if you're watching. That was a very good testimonial. So other broker owners, managers watching, definitely, as you can see, it's been working. Now, Nicole, you guys have had Updater longer than the whole region has. How long have you been using it?
I believe it's around 6 years.
Yes. So right around the time they were just getting launched and started. So early adopters, I love it. Well, thank you so much, everyone. Let me just take a quick glance to see if there's any more questions that we need to address. Let's see, I think we answered some of these about, do we have control over companies that are recommended? Let's see what else. Can you add reminders and upload things to send at certain times? I like to incorporate the PDF and flyers I'm already using. I'm not sure, Tammy or Ashley, could you answer
Ashley, I'm not quite sure I understood the question, so you can go ahead, Ashley.
Oh, sure. Just continue to send those flyers that you love to send in part of your regular communications. We take care of we're pretty specific and just making sure that we're only sending them updates about their specific move and their interaction with Updater. We don't want to create any extra noise for them or send anything that wouldn't be applicable. So keep doing that. That's fantastic. We'll take care of all the Updater communication. And then as far as uploading anything specific, that's not something our system currently does, but you can customize the message. Tammy was showing you that a little bit earlier. Personalize it to your specific client. Maybe you let them know, hey, keep on the lookout for a message I'm going to send you with a couple of resources, PDFs, flyers and stuff like that. So you can certainly take advantage of that customized area for the body of the invite if you want to.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. Join us again on February 2nd. We're going to talk all about RE/MAX First and prospecting to your sphere of influence. We'll have some agents sharing what they've been doing and the success they've been having with RE/MAX First. So thank you everyone. Thank you, Tammy, Ashley, Nicole. You are amazing. And everyone have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday.
Bye.